Alright, new chapter for Crisis Core, so let's get to it. Specifically, the second chapter about Zack visiting Angeal's hometown of Banora. But the first part is gonna be instead about doing some chores, because like I said, they adapt a couple of side quests into it. A month has passed since Angeal's disappearance. Zack believes that his prideful friend would never forgive someone like Genesis, someone who treated soldiers like tools.
Zack needs to learn about his friends more.
However, with no developments of any kind, Zack's frustration grows. It's then he's called into a meeting with Elector Lazard.
Any word on Angeal?
It's
Angeal!
Not a trace. He hasn't contacted his family either.
No. So, what's this about?
Your termination of employment.
What?
A new assignment. I want you to go to the hometown of our missing soldier. First class Genesis.
Oh, God.
Would you rather be unemployed?
Okay, fine.
The parents claim they've had no contact with Genesis whatsoever. I had already dispatched some staff, but we've lost contact.
Good.
Oh no, Genesis abandoned his mommy and daddy.
Uh-oh, we're in trouble.
Yeah. I want you to go and investigate. Yeah,
His mother, his father, his girlfriend, his cousin, everyone.
And here's
It's
Tang.
on.
I'll be accompanying you. Sound of the Turks. And again, we already seen his young portrait, if I recall correctly.
The Turks? This job is looking really gloomy.
Yeah, remember, the Turks are seen as the goons.
You also have to
basically.
remember...
I have to work with the Turks?
You also have to remember this is happening around the same time of before Crisis, so a couple of things are intermingling. Originally, Sephiroth was assigned to this mission. That means it's a top priority matter.
Alright, I'm going to work with you.
Look back then.
Alright, I'm going to work with you Turk nerds, but it's only temporary.
Be alert, or you'll fail.
And Sephiroth?
Refusing to go, apparently. You know how it is.
I feel like sleeping. Ugh. Oh, what is that? They spoil him too much.
I mean, he's only literally their top soldier.
Judging by what we will see in the first soldiers, as the first soldier, you'll regret those wars, Zack. Why don't you say that to his face?
He is actually a diva.
No thanks.
Coward.
By the way, the director has some tasks that he wants taken care of while preparations are being made for our assignment.
I'd say that to you, but I forgot.
Tasks? Okay, I'll go see him later.
Sure you will. Also, you're right, Sephiroth's busy with his hair regiment.
Of course.
As
Those
his fan
L'Oreal
club
ads
revealed.
aren't going to make themselves.
I apologize for
Yes.
the timing, but I've received several requests for a few departments for our assistance.
Again, this is basically adapting a couple of the side quests, but normally in the original Crisis Core, and even in the Union version, you do get with a simple SMS text.
As of now, you're the only soldier suitable for these tasks. Can I ask you to handle
This is
them?
the equivalent of
No
there's only
pressure.
2 ship in the quadrant for Star Trek.
Yeah, you know, that's kind of the thing when it comes to first class
Task one,
soldiers.
you must wash the dishes of all the other soldiers.
You know, Teo raises a good point. Usually whenever we actually see first class soldiers in action, there's like 3 at most actually on the force.
They're looking to test a new training program designed to prepare troopers for combat against the evil forces of Wutai. Totally.
Okay, that I can do.
And then you've got to wash all their dishes. I'm counting on you. When you're ready, make your way to the kitchen.
They're waiting for you,
training
Zack,
room.
in the test chamber.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom always told me
Yeah,
there would be days
don't
like
worry.
this.
Don't worry, Zack doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional. Yeah, what is it about that line that's so weak?
Awkward dialogue. To be fair, Valve did have a professional writer for the first half, like at the very least, but the dialogue that comes up is still a bit awkward nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I've even seen a couple of parodies that people made using the game, where while he's saying highly trained professional, Gordon's jumping up and down like he's on a weird pogo stick.
I mean,
And
to
then
be
there's this
fair,
one where, and then there's this other one where, as he says that he tags the front cover of what looks like Nuts magazine onto
to
the
be fair, Waves, it reflects the energy of the first couple of minutes of Half-Life where you can fuck around with things like the microwave.
My God, what are you doing?
I'm also starting with this to showcase a bit of more of the different weapons and also the associated skills. Like in this case, the crystal sword, if I recall correctly, for Zack allows him to cast Piraga, if I recall correctly. But again, I'll showcase it properly in another part, especially because this was the point where I was already starting to be a bit over leveled. So don't worry, we'll see proper balance, in terms of the gameplay later.
Ow.
He's got a scratch.
Wonderful.
Yeah, whatever you said then. Did you say fuck you? Good work. Director Heidegger was impressed. So much so that he dumped more work on us.
Well,
I want
fuck.
it done by the end of today. And if not by the end of today, by the end of the week.
If you don't want to do it, why don't you just say no? That's what I'd do.
Look, Zack, it's all about the
Zack.
food chain, okay?
Yes,
the
yes,
work
that-
gets
yes,
passed
that-
down.
Yes, just refuse what your superior boss tells you. I'm sure that will go just fine,
It's
Zack.
not that simple. Several departments
you.
try to take over Soldier, so we need to prove our worth to stay independent.
To Lazard's credit, even though he could be a bit of a douche, I do get it essentially.
The
Actually,
program is still fresh. I'm in no position to make enemies.
It's the Grunkle
Actually-
in order to be a leader, you have to make sacrifices.
Politics, huh? What a pain.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know. Zack.
you don't say, Zack.
and
Don't
Lazard,
say.
and then Lazard's like, everything is political, Zack. But that's the thing, Java. I'm with Lazard, actually. It's more Zack's thing. Why don't you just say no? Yeah, because that's totally how hierarchy works.
This is
I'm
my
agreeing.
recurring
I'm agreeing
question
with
of the
Lazard
Crisis
too,
Core
yeah.
as a whole. Like, with that kind of attitude, how did Zack got into Soldier? Because we don't know how that happened.
Our
Okay,
autonomy
okay.
hinges on your continued success. I'm sorry to put this on you, but I hope you do us proud.
I've always chalked it up to the fact that, in spite of Zack's attitude, it was his level of skill that elevated him to first class, essentially. And they probably figured, whatever, we'll mold him into an obedient soldier with time, essentially. Since, like I've mentioned, we barely see first class soldiers in Shinra actually active.
Anyway, this is our first meeting with Hojo.
hello.
In the game, in the original game, you meet him later on, but you get to do a couple of side quests for him beforehand, so they decided to do this.
Professor Hojo, I heard you wanted some help. I'm Zack, soldier, second class.
Second? Huh. Lazard is holding out on me. He has forgotten the reason Soldier even exists. Also, yes, younger quote-unquote Hojo gets a different portrait.
He, I guess we can say he looks younger.
He's still greasy as fuck.
Don't worry, I
Yeah.
got this. I'll get promoted any day now, you know?
Yes, for sure.
And I'm sure you'll live a long, fulfilling life with it, Zack.
Well, Jova, Depends on which Final Fantasy VII you're playing.
Fine. I need you to test the capabilities of my specimen. I doubt you'll fare well, but good luck.
Hey, I'm doing you a favor. Just watch. I'll show you.
Zack, while it is Hojo, you still gotta speak with some respect to your superiors. But okay. I've always chalked up Crisis Core's narrative as this idea that Zack was definitely someone who went into the job thinking he'd get to be, the hero, essentially. He wasn't expecting all the bureaucracy that comes with, the different roles and whatnot, essentially. And I think that the idea is to showcase how, in some way, he helped give Cloud some of his better parts of his personality that he imparted to Cloud. The issue with the execution is Zack can come off as a little entitled when you do get down to it. Like, look, as much as it sucks to get a job you don't like, even if you're trying to get the dream job up top, you gotta know that there's a corporate ladder, and if you want to climb it, yeah, you will have to take some orders you probably don't care for. Unless you get very lucky and your superiors just love that you're a maverick and they decide to promote you for that.
At the big job, so far, Zack was actually going through that because he was giving such a good impression to Angeal for some reason.
I'm wondering if that was kind of the madness setting in for Angeal at the point, given the whole... I don't know if I should say it since
we don't know the
technically the whole group
context
hasn't
yet.
seen Crisis
By the
Core
time
yet,
we're
but-
recording this, we're actually exploring how Angeal was in his youth, and I can tell you it's definitely an improvement over the writing of Crisis Core.
Yeah, but part of... I've always chalked up how Angeal was working as due to... Again, as to not spoil Shiro and Dwibs, that stuff Angeal himself found out he was going through later on.
We will actually find out in the next part, so yes, don't worry.
Again, I want to make it clear, I like Crisis Core. I am a Crisis Core fan. In fact, me being such a big fan of Crisis Core is part of why I did like that surprise twist of Zack surviving at the end of the remake. Technically in a different timeline and whatnot. But I will not deny that Crisis Core's plot still has issues. It clashes a lot with the original narrative of 7 in some plot contradictions, and yes, while the ending is stunning and touching, God, do we have to slog through a lot of BS to get there.
Yeah. How'd you like that?
It's like, Knack, how do you like me now?
0 out of 10.
How unexpected. Defeated by a second.
I love it. He was expecting his creations to rip Zack apart.
Let's see, the merging of the X and Y factors, and overlapping with Z. Could it be? No, Hojo, don't overthinking. The time janitors will take you away again.
Hello! By the way, Ojo, I caught a fish this big.
That might account for their remarkable precision, which could only mean...
Just don't mind
Hey,
the maniacal
hey,
Papa!
Hey, nerds, I'm talking to you.
What is it? Would you like to hear my theory?
He
No.
wrote a whole thesis on it, too. Just stand by for the 2-hour lecture.
Huh? No, not even a little bit. I don't listen to nerd talk.
Blunt.
Then perhaps you can be verified. Here, ingest this tablet. It will make you even more powerful.
No.
Come on, Dwibs, you can trust a guy like Hojo.
Never take this for a stranger, Zack.
Well, I gotta go. See ya.
See, at least
Hey,
Zack
don't-
has that kind of common sense.
Don't tell him it was supposed to be a suppository.
One day. Also, someone's playing Octopath Traveler.
Nice.
Cute.
I'm done, director.
But you haven't cooked dinner for the whole of Soldier. Great job. The last request is an interview.
Interview? For what?
Your replacement. You're fired. Public relations wants us to shine a spotlight on the many achievements of Soldier in magazines and newsletters.
Remember, dweebs, the propaganda machine.
Yep.
I'd be featured in a magazine?
Yeah, you'll be like Mike Wachowski. Yes, and it comes with a big responsibility. Soldier's popularity is linked to our company's reputation and credibility.
I think you were thinking of a term Wazowski's, dweebs.
Yeah, Mike Wazowski, yeah.
You know, it would be funny if Sephiroth had actually taken this job, given how not too long after this he goes cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and ends up decimating that village.
Go and show them what they're made of. This one
then. I got this.
Just remember, Juva, there is a time skip between these events and the Evil Eye accident. Forgot how much of which, but some time passes, indeed.
I thought it was like a month or so, like, you know, not
I'll check
too
the
long after.
timeline again in between parts.
Boy, this is an intense interview. They literally try and gun you down while asking questions.
It's performance and stuff.
Zack, while I target your head, what do you think of Soldier's new recruitment strategy?
Oh, is that true? Is this how Sky News conducts their interviews?
I don't know.
Honestly, being more cutthroat, that's more Channel 4 news thing.
So Channel 4 News is the Fox News of Britain?
No.
No.
I meant that as more as in Channel 4 News' reporters are more the kind of people that will try and ask the more cutting questions.
Okay, it's judging. I checked here the timeline. The Evil Eye accident happens 1 year after the point, the major point that signifies the changing of characters of Zack. You know the one, Joe, the one about the haircut.
It does explain also why the magazine involving Zack.
If I recall correctly, it's even mentioning the game that Zack gets basically a couple of months pass without anything happening, and Zack gets to go on Coast of the Soul to have a vacation.
Neat.
Yeah, I don't particularly care about this sword design. It's a bit too simplistic.
But Teo, what about the awesome golden handle for the Buster Sword in Crisis Core?
Next part, Jova.
Good work. You exceeded their expectations for a second.
What's that supposed to mean?
It means you weren't shit.
Well, your suit is stupid.
Hey, my wife made it for me.
Shiro, it's not like a triple cravat. It's not a triple cravat for edge work, but it's close enough.
That's not edgy enough, Shiro. Well, your wife sucks at sewing, then. There you go.
The article will run in Soldier Weekly. You'll receive a copy once it's printed, and we'll make sure the barcode doesn't cover your face.
Soldier Weekly.
Yes.
I never thought I'd be featured in Soldier Weekly. I used to read it all the time as a kid, when I was still dreaming of becoming an operative.
And now your dream comes true.
Indoctrination.
Now it's your turn to be a hero to all the future soldiers out there.
Steroid Soldier are here for the betterment of society, to help us into a golden age.
To serve and protect, indeed.
That's a pretty big responsibility.
Unfortunately, you're the only one I can give it to. I mean,
by the way, does anyone remember
you're the most trusted person I can give it to.
Just ignore all the horrific mutations that tend to occur.
Thank you, Zack. Those are all the requests at this time. There was hide all the failed experiments, but we can wait till later for that one. I'm told the helicopter is ready and preparations are complete for your assignment.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Why read the contracts, Jova. Plus the back of the box.
Alright, in the next part we will properly go to the town of Banora and see if we can find this mysterious Genesis fellow. Yeah.
See ya.
See ya.